Hello, everybody. It is Aisha Murphy of Murphy for Hire, new media and digital media consulting services. This is my first time ever in a million years, ever using Facebook Live audio. And it's really cool to me because I really love podcasts. This is my first time ever using this feature, but I did actually produce and co-host a podcast and video podcast. And I prefer that to live video. So it's really exciting for me to see that I have the ability to do Facebook audio and to use it because this is my element and I'm excited about it. So today's message, or whatever topic I'm going to discuss today, is a few reasons why your social media is not popping. And we're just going to go through a few of those reasons. And this is not really a message to people. It's more of a note to myself about my own personal brand. I am a freelancer and I work with a lot of small nonprofit, faith-based organizations and small businesses, things like that, to help them get on the road to establishing their online presence. And I usually start out with them and work with them, and I get them set up from everything from starting their pages to creating landing pages to actually training their staff and helping them understand what it takes to be successful online. I'm not a guru. I'm not an expert. I'm not a coach. I am an ever evolving person. And more importantly, I just started freelancing about 18 months ago. So what I really am is a woman who has learned a lot through trial and error and is just going to write this note out to myself in front of 1,000 of my closest digital online internet cousins and friends and boos. So if it's helpful to you, that is absolutely amazing. You can give me some reactions, give me some comments, let me know. And I will do these more frequently. I was currently planning only to do them every other week, like on a Monday afternoon at 1 p.m. every other week until, maybe I got a little bit more comfortable. But if you guys really have a need for it, then I will do it far more frequently. So you guys can let me know in the comments and whatnot if this is something that you would definitely be interested in. So let me preface this by saying that my journey to entrepreneurship has not been graceful. Like, you meet some people who they're just like, oh, my life was liberated and just everything changed for me. And I was always meant to be an entrepreneur. And like, they just, overnight almost become this perfect entrepreneur. Let me preface this by letting you know that that is not me. If that's what you're looking for, that's not what it is. I apologize, but I really don't, because my journey has been very gritty and very up and down, and it hasn't been easy for me. There's been many times where I wanted to quit and throw in the towel. But God, I've just been moving and trying my best. And so I feel like I have some things useful, some useful experience that people can. So I think I am cutting in and out. So I apologize if there are any I have to say. If you have questions, please, ask me a question and I will try to view them in the comments, even if I don't get to them during the live on the replay. So yeah, I see that I'm reconnected now. Let's get into it. I'm done talking and giving my little disclaimers. Let's talk about a few of the reasons why your social media efforts aren't popping. And this is brought to you by Murphy for Hire. Number one, your strategy sucks. Why does your strategy suck? Because you either lack strategy, you're not being strategic at all, or you're not doing the proper research. Now, what the hell does that even mean? What it means is when you are a professional and you're trying to do something on a professional level, you need to be strategic and you need to have a set of systems in place to help you acquire your goals. and you will use certain objectives and certain outputs to help you acquire your goal. But before you even get to the objectives and you get to the outputs, you need to have clearly defined goals, clearly defined objectives, and you need to have done the proper research to even inform your strategy. Now, I know that sounds hard, but let's just put it down to this. You need to take the time to do your research. You need to take the time to know your audience. So it's more than just the quantitative, because when we talk about knowing our audience, we talk about, I want to connect with people who love to travel, who are 24 to 35, who make $30,000 a year, who spend X amount on this per year. And you want to tap into their spending and to get them to support you. Well, it's far more than that. For you to really be able to get people to support you, you need to understand them. It would be rude to just know somebody by face and be like, hey, you support me. You would want to get the time. If this was outside of digital, you would want to take the time to get to know that person. Put a name with the face, put a story with the name that goes with the face, and really take the time to know that person and know what makes them tick. Digital is no different. So you need to the quantitative is important, but you need to look at the qualitative, which is the why behind the numbers. Why is this demographic, the 25 to 35, spending the way that they're spending? What makes them tick? What makes them want to buy and purchase? What motivates your demographic? And the only way you get that qualitative information is by engaging and interacting and immersing yourself into the culture and that demographic that you are trying to connect with. Does that make sense? How do you do that? What does that look like? I'll give you an example. I recently I was a social media coordinator and consultant and strategist for an event in Riverside, California. It's called My Hair, My Health. It is an event that targets African American women and of course men, but primarily the audience base is African American women. And the focus of this event that happens once a year is to spread awareness about harmful chemical products that are in hair products. Things like perms, but not just perms, the hair products that we buy off of the shelves every day in the grocery store. So a lot of people don't want to stop using these things if it's going to impact how good their hair looks. They would rather choose their hair and it looking good over their health. My Hair, My Health had done some research and found out about that. And they also found that people didn't like to work out. So, what they did was they would rather preserve their hairstyle before working out. So they set out with the mission to create an online presence and to create an event that would help people overcome these barriers. And they didn't do so great on the social media front, even though the event has been around since 2012 or 2011. They weren't able to really connect with people. So this was a godsend for me, basically, because number one, I'm a Black woman. Number two, I love anything that's going to spread awareness and help women of color be more informed and people of color be more informed. So I was able to really jump into this in a way that I never had been able to with past projects that I'd been hired to work on. And I was able to read the things that I felt like my audience would read, watch the things that I felt like my audience would watch, using the products that I thought might be interesting to my audience, immersing myself in the culture and the content that the audience that I am trying to reach would consume. And so that's what my long-winded roundabout way of saying that you need to immerse yourself in the culture of the audience that you are trying to connect with. And that will better inform your strategy. It'll help you, number one, align the needs of your audience with the needs of your business or the needs of the company that you are representing as a digital media consultant, etc. It will help you bridge the gap between the needs and wants of either your personal brand or whoever you're representing and the needs and wants of the audience that you are trying to connect with. And that is what you're essentially doing as a social media consultant, a digital manager. Yes, you work for the company, but you are helping the company get connected with the consumers, and you are helping the consumers get connected with the company. You are the bridge. And so even if you're a small business owner, you need to find a way to bridge your needs as a business owner with the needs of the people the audience that you're trying to captivate. So one of the reasons why, like I mentioned earlier, for those who just came in, one of the reasons why your social media is not popping is because your social media strategy sucks, and it's either non-existent or it is not properly informed. You are not using research to inform the strategy. Now that we can talk on that for days, and if anyone has a question, you can drop them in the comments of this live audio. You can also send me an email to aismurphy84@gmail.com if you want to set up a consultation. You can also send me a message and ask me any follow-up questions if that wasn't so clear to you. But just know that you need to be strategic when you're out here trying to use social media in a professional way or in a way to enhance or boost your sales. You need to be strategic and you need to be professional. So the next reason why your social media is not popping, your attention span sucks. Why does your attention span suck? Because you are so busy trying to get people to like and follow you that you don't listen to your audience, and you're trying to woo them, but you're not paying attention to them. You cannot woo an audience, captivate an audience, get an audience's attention by being self-centered and by not paying attention to that audience. And that kind of goes in line with the strategy. You need to know what makes your audience tick, but you need to pay attention to them. When you post something, if you keep posting the same thing, like if I keep posting these audio videos on my business page and no one cares about them, but then I post a live video and hundreds of people like it, then I need to pay attention that my audience responds better to live video. It's not about, I like live audio and I prefer live audio, so I'm going to keep doing live audio because that's what I want. You either need to reformat your live audio and make it easier for your audience to consume, or you need to realize that they prefer video. And if you want to connect with them, you're going to have to go to their watering hole in the live video format to connect with them. So you really need to pay attention to your audience. They are online and you're wanting them to follow you, but you need to take the mindset of like, they're not your followers. You're following them. You are their fans, right? And so when you're a fan of someone, a true fanatic of someone, you know everything about. If you're a member of the Beehive, you know Beyonce's birthday, you know X, Y, Z, etc. That's the same type of attitude you need to take with your followers. You need to know them. You need to pay attention to them. You need to know what they prefer, how they like to consume their content. They either like funny posts or they like videos, and you need to find, again, you are the bridge. So you need to bridge your business wants and needs with their wants and needs, pay attention to them, and meet them where they are. Okay. So again, like I said, after the first one, if you have more questions, drop them in the comments, send me a message, or email me to set up a consultation. So number 3, the third reason why your social media is not that popping is because your technology sucks. Why? Because you are live posting. Now, some people are trying to build their presence on their social media, on their personal page. But if you have a like page, you can use content management systems to post to your like page. What is a content management system? A lot of people are always confused when you bring that up. There are things like Hootsuite. There are things like Buffer app. There are things like CoSchedule. There are things like Sprout Social, and all of these are content management systems that help you schedule posts to Facebook like pages. If you don't want to use a content management system, Facebook has Facebook Insights and Facebook Publishing, which is their in-house content management system for like pages. Now, if you have a personal brand, if you have a personal page and you don't have an actual like page, I would say you would need to look to developing a like page. If you want to be professional about it and you want to have a business, you would want to create a like page so that you can implement content management systems. But if you're going to stick it out with your personal page, then you need to set up some type of editorial system where you are pre-planning your content and you already have things stored where you can just copy and paste, or you save something that you want to share and you can just copy and paste it so that you're maximizing your time and not living on social. If you are spending 8 hours on Facebook and you're not getting paid, you're doing it wrong. If you're spending more than 50% of your day on Facebook and you're not doing it and you're not getting paid, you're doing it wrong. So you need to make sure that you have some type of system set in place to make it easier for you to post so that it doesn't take up the full amount of your day. Okay. And you can do that through content management systems. You need to be a professional about it. And the way that you do that, the way that professionals do it in the industry, you use a content management system to schedule out posts and things of that nature. Now, if you want more information on content management systems and what that is and how that works, et cetera, then you can give me a little bit more information in the comments of what you want to know. And maybe I'll do a separate live video on that feature as well, too. Okay, number 4, the reason why your social media posts are not popping. Your privacy settings suck. Okay, and this is for the people who are using their own personal page. You cannot expect people to share your videos. You cannot expect people to share your posts if you do not make that content public. If you're okay with just, 30 or 40 of your friends sharing it, that's fine. Do you, boo? This message is not for you. This is for the person who's sharing stuff and they're like, I don't understand why anybody is not seeing my stuff. It's because your privacy settings suck. This is not for the like page people, because your like page is public facing. This is for the person who is broadcasting off of their personal page or sharing videos on their personal page and they don't understand why no one is paying attention to it. There is an algorithm with Facebook, and a small percentage of the people who follow you actually see your content. So by only making your friends able to see it limits the amount of people that can see your content already with the algorithm in place. By making your content public, you open up the window of opportunity for people to be able to see your content. I mean, it's a numbers game, So part of it is numbers, part of it is having great content. So if you want more people to see it, you need to use Facebook's features on the post that you want everybody to see. So like with this audio video, I would make this public. You don't have to make your whole profile public to share it with people. You can make individual posts public, and then anything that you only want to share with your family and friends, you can just hit that little drop down menu. Either it's going to be a world or 2 little silhouettes like next to each other. If it's the 2 little silhouettes, that means that's friends only. If it's the globe, that means the whole world can see it. What does this do? It also makes it easier for people to share, because some people might share your content, but they're not friends with you. So when they do share, only people who are friends of yours can see it. So you're limiting yourself. And I understand we have jobs and we don't want people to see certain things. But honestly, like, if your professional stuff, the stuff that you're trying to get people to see and spread with your brand, would be offensive to your work people, I don't know if you should even be sharing it on your personal page. You need to just stick to a like page and maintain some anonymity because, like, you shouldn't be sharing it there. So your privacy settings suck. And if you want your social media to get more popping, you need to use the individual post feature that allows you to select the privacy features of each individual post. Okay. Number 5, and this is the 5th and final reason why your social media is not popping. And it's because your content sucks. And why does your content suck? It's all about you and what you want your audience to do. You want them to share. You want them to watch. You want them to buy. You want them to do something. But what are you giving them? What incentive are you providing your audience to share your content? This cannot be all about you. In this digital world that we live in, where there's a new person on social media, there's a new website every day. There's a new like page every day. You have to differentiate yourself by adding value. Now, I know you hear everybody on digital media saying this, but you really need to understand that if you are not adding value, if you are not making people bigger, better, smarter, more beautiful, more happy, if you are not doing that in some way, shape, or form, your content sucks and it doesn't add value. Another way that your content can suck, outside of not adding value, is it's just boring. And again, that goes back to paying attention to your audience. If you're sharing some videos and they're not really funny and they're not really well lit and they're not really pre-produced, you didn't really put too much thought into it. Not saying that you're inorganic, just saying like you just have a shaky camera in front of you and you're really not saying anything that anyone wants to say. It doesn't make them laugh. It doesn't make them think. It doesn't make them feel. It doesn't make them better. And you have no personality. You're boring. So once you go through this checklist of all the reasons why your content is not popping and you feel like you've checked every mark, really fall back and think like, is my content useful? Does it add value? Does it make people better in some way, shape, or form? Does it tap into the why of my audience? And in addition to that, you could be meeting all those check marks, but you can also be inauthentic. You can be a Me Tooer. You could have, Derek Jackson is doing things on how to get a man or, giving women relationship advice. And now this week you're doing that. And next week you're giving financial advice. And next week, etc. I mean, you can be a Jack or Jill of all trades, but don't be a Me Tooer. If you're really creating lifestyle content where you do a little bit of everything, then find a way to do that really lets your skills and your message shine. And don't be a Me Tooer. Just do you, be true to who you are, be authentic, don't be boring, and don't be selfish. Make sure your content is not all about what you want somebody else to do. If you're not selling a product or service and you just want to be an entertainment source, then make sure you are asking thought-provoking questions and sharing things that are relevant to the community that you serve and the audience that you serve. And those are my notes to myself as to why my social media might not be as popping as it could be. And I just wanted to let you guys in on and hear, some of the things that I say to myself. It is not a negative self dialogue. It's just I'm always evaluating. And that's another part of being strategic. Evaluate what is going on in your social media spaces. Look at what works, what doesn't work. And if it works, keep doing it and find bigger and better ways to keep doing it. And if it doesn't work, then let it go or tweak it or do something to make it better. Don't just keep being the definition of insanity and doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. You guys get the point. If you consistently do these things and evaluate and check and put your audience first and really take the time to get to know them, you will have no problem getting these people to share your content, watch your content, post your content, rave about your content, become a fanatic for your content buy your product, good, or service. So those are the reasons why your social media isn't popping. I hope this was helpful to you. If it was, give me some reactions, thumbs up. I really love hearts. Give me a lot of hearts, give me a lot of love. You can post questions here at any time. You can check me out at Murphy, let me say that correctly, murphyforhire.com. You can send me an email or a question at aismurphy84 at gmail.com. And guys, just remember, Google is a never-ending resource, and enlightenment is literally a Google search away. So don't be scared to jump in there and do y'all research. You guys be blessed and have a wonderful Monday. Peace.